To be like finding a needle in a haystack. To be extremely difficult or nearly impossible to find or locate. To search for something in a vast or cluttered space with little hope of success. With so many applicants for the job, finding the right candidate was like finding a needle in a haystack. Trying to find a specific book in this library is like finding a needle in a haystack. It could take hours. Locating the lost earring in the park was like finding a needle in a haystack, but she eventually found it. In a city as big as New York, finding a good pizza place is like finding a needle in a haystack. You have to know where to look. Finding a reliable mechanic in this town is like finding a needle in a haystack. They're all booked up for weeks. To be a square peg in a round hole. To be a person or thing that does not fit or belong in a particular situation or environment. To be mismatched or incompatible with one's surroundings or circumstances. Trying to fit in at the party was like being a square peg in a round hole. Everyone seemed so different from her. Being a vegetarian at a barbecue restaurant is like being a square peg in a round hole. As an introvert in a job that required constant social interaction, she often felt like a square peg in a round hole. As an artist in a corporate office, he always felt like a square peg in a round hole. The new employee struggled to adapt to the company's culture. She felt like a square peg in a round hole. To be as clear as mud. To be unclear, confusing, or difficult to understand. To lack clarity or transparency. To be ambiguous or vague. Her directions were as clear as mud, and I ended up getting lost. The legal jargon in the contract was as clear as mud to me, so I asked for clarification. His explanation was as clear as mud, leaving us more confused than before. The instructions were as clear as mud, and I had no idea what to do. The teacher's explanation was as clear as mud, and none of the students understood the concept. To be a drop in the ocean. To be an insignificant or negligible amount compared to a much larger whole. To have little or no impact or effect due to being a small part of a much larger situation or problem. Increasing funding for education is crucial, but it's only a drop in the ocean when it comes to addressing systemic inequalities. My donation to the charity was just a drop in the ocean compared to what they needed. Repairing one pothole on this road is just a drop in the ocean. The entire road needs to be repaved. Reducing our plastic usage is important, but it's only a drop in the ocean compared to the overall plastic pollution problem. Planting trees in one neighborhood is just a drop in the ocean when it comes to combating deforestation. To be as light as a feather. To be extremely lightweight or lacking in density, like a feather. To feel unburdened or carefree. To experience a sense of weightlessness or ease. He floated down the river, feeling as light as a feather, with nothing to weigh him down. After a good night's sleep, she woke up feeling as light as a feather, ready to tackle the day ahead. The package was as light as a feather, so I knew there couldn't be much inside. After finishing her exams, she felt as light as a feather, with all her stress lifted. With her debts paid off, she felt as light as a feather, finally free from financial worries. To be as solid as a rock. To be extremely stable, sturdy, or reliable, like a rock. To have a strong or unyielding character. To be steadfast or unwavering in one's principles. Despite facing criticism, she remained as solid as a rock, confident in her decisions. In times of crisis, his leadership was as solid as a rock, guiding his team with confidence. The foundation of the building was as solid as a rock, ensuring its stability even during earthquakes. His commitment to his goals was as solid as a rock, never wavering despite obstacles. Their relationship was as solid as a rock, able to withstand any challenge that came their way. To be as clear as crystal. To be extremely clear, transparent, or easily understood. To have perfect clarity or precision. To be free from any ambiguity or confusion. Her instructions were as clear as crystal, and I had no trouble following them. After the explanation, everything became as clear as crystal, and I finally understood the concept. His intentions were as clear as crystal, and there was no doubting his sincerity. The terms of the contract were as clear as crystal, leaving no room for misinterpretation. The water in the lake was as clear as crystal, allowing us to see all the way to the bottom. To be good with numbers. To have a natural ability or skill in dealing with mathematical concepts and calculations. To be proficient in performing arithmetic operations and solving mathematical problems. He's the one you should ask to split the bill. He's good with numbers and can calculate everyone's share accurately. Her talent for being good with numbers made her the top student in her math class. Being good with numbers, he quickly grasped the financial aspects of the project. She's always been good with numbers, so she decided to pursue a career in accounting. As a scientist, being good with numbers is an essential skill for analyzing data and conducting experiments. To add up. To make sense, to be logical or coherent when considered as a whole. To reach a total by combining numbers or quantities through addition. The figures don't add up. There seems to be a mistake in the calculations. The evidence doesn't add up to a conviction. There are too many inconsistencies. When you add up all the expenses, you'll see that the total exceeds our budget. I need to add up the numbers to see if we have enough funds to cover the project. Her story just doesn't add up. There must be something she's not telling us. To be on the same wavelength. To share similar thoughts, ideas, or understanding with someone else. To have a mutual understanding or rapport with someone, especially in communication. We often finish each other's sentences because we're on the same wavelength. We're on the same wavelength about our plans for the future. We both want to travel and explore new opportunities. During the meeting, it was clear that they were on the same wavelength regarding the project's objectives. It's easier to work with someone when you're on the same wavelength. There's less miscommunication. Even though they come from different backgrounds, they're on the same wavelength when it comes to their values and beliefs. To be a numbers game. To be a situation or activity where success or outcome depends on numerical factors or calculations. To involve statistical analysis or mathematical probabilities in decision-making or strategy. To succeed in sales, it's often a numbers game. The more calls you make, the more sales you're likely to close. When it comes to investing, it's often a numbers game. You have to analyze the data to make informed decisions. Winning the election is a numbers game. It's all about getting the most votes. She approached job hunting as a numbers game, applying to as many positions as possible to increase her chances of getting hired. For him, dating was just a numbers game. The more people he asked out, the higher his chances of finding a match. To do the math. To perform calculations or mathematical operations to arrive at a solution or answer. To analyze a situation or problem using mathematical principles or logic. To determine how much we need to save each month, we'll need to do the math. He did the math and found that investing in the stock market would yield better returns than keeping his money in a savings account. Doing the math, She realized that she couldn't afford to buy a new car right now. To figure out the area of the room, we'll need to do the math and multiply the length by the width. Before making a decision, it's important to do the math and assess the potential costs and benefits. To have a head for figures. To have a natural aptitude or talent for understanding and working with numbers. To possess strong mathematical abilities or mental arithmetic skills. She developed a reputation for having a head for figures after consistently scoring high on math tests. Having a head for figures, he quickly calculated the restaurant bill, including tax and tip. Her father always had a head for figures, which is why he excelled in his finance career. To succeed in accounting, you need to have a head for figures and attention to detail. With his head for figures, he was able to quickly analyze the financial statements and identify areas for improvement. To be in someone's favor. To be advantageous or beneficial to someone. To work to someone's advantage. To have the approval or support of someone. To be regarded favorably by them. Having a strong track record of success works in your favor when seeking investors for your business. Her experience and qualifications are in her favor when applying for the job. The odds are in your favor. You have a good chance of winning the competition. With the new tax laws, homeownership is more in your favor than renting. The timing couldn't be more in your favor. The market is booming right now. To be as easy as pie. To be very easy or simple to accomplish, requiring little effort or difficulty. To be straightforward or uncomplicated, like the process of making a pie. Navigating through the city was as easy as pie with the help of GPS. Baking cookies from scratch is as easy as pie for him. He's a natural in the kitchen. Solving that math problem was as easy as pie once I understood the concept. Completing the assignment was as easy as pie once I broke it down into smaller tasks. For her, learning new languages is as easy as pie. She picks them up quickly. To be in the same ballpark. To be approximately the same or similar in range, level, or magnitude. To have estimates, figures, or values that are close enough for comparison or consideration. The two proposals are in the same ballpark. We just need to iron out the details before making a decision. His estimate was in the same ballpark as mine, so we agreed on the budget. Our projections for sales next quarter are in the same ballpark as last year's figures. We may not have the exact numbers yet, but we're in the same ballpark in terms of costs. Their offer wasn't quite what we wanted, but it was in the same ballpark, so we accepted. To be as meek as a lamb. To be extremely gentle, submissive, or mild-mannered. To lack assertiveness or boldness, often exhibiting quiet or passive behavior. The child was as meek as a lamb, always obeying adults without question. In the face of criticism, he remained as meek as a lamb, refusing to engage in confrontation. She was as meek as a lamb, never raising her voice or standing up for herself. Even though he was mistreated, he remained as meek as a lamb, choosing forgiveness over retaliation. She couldn't stand up to her boss's unreasonable demands. She was as meek as a lamb in his presence. To inherit the earth. To gain possession or control over something valuable or significant. To achieve success, prosperity, or dominance through humble or meek behavior. The quiet and patient ones often inherit the earth as they cultivate meaningful relationships and opportunities. Through acts of kindness and generosity, she hoped to inherit the earth and leave a positive impact on society. In a world driven by ambition and power, it's the meek who inherit the earth, fostering harmony and cooperation. His willingness to collaborate rather than compete allowed him to inherit the earth in the competitive business world. Despite facing setbacks, their perseverance and humility helped them inherit the earth, eventually achieving their goals. To have a gentle spirit. To possess a kind, compassionate, or tender demeanor. To exhibit qualities of patience, understanding, and empathy towards others. Her gentle spirit inspired others to be kinder and more compassionate, creating a ripple effect of positivity. His gentle spirit made him a beloved figure in the community, always willing to lend a helping hand. Despite facing adversity, she maintained a gentle spirit, spreading warmth and comfort to those around her. Even in times of stress, he maintained a gentle spirit, never allowing anger or frustration to overcome him. She approached every situation with a gentle spirit, diffusing conflicts and promoting reconciliation. To be as mild as milk. To be extremely gentle, soft-spoken, or unassuming in demeanor. To possess a calm, placid, or non-confrontational personality. In the midst of chaos, she remained as mild as milk, her soothing presence bringing a sense of tranquility. Even in the face of adversity, he maintained a mild-as-milk attitude, refusing to engage in conflict. She handled criticism with a mild-as-milk demeanor, gracefully accepting feedback and striving for improvement. His voice was as mild as milk, never raising in anger or frustration. Despite his imposing stature, he was as mild as milk, always treating others with kindness and respect. To have a gentle heart. To possess a kind, compassionate, or empathetic nature towards others. To demonstrate sensitivity, understanding, and warmth in interpersonal relationships. Her gentle heart was evident in her acts of generosity and selflessness towards others. Even in challenging circumstances, she maintained a gentle heart, refusing to let bitterness or resentment consume her. Despite his tough exterior, he had a gentle heart, always showing concern for those in need. He approached every interaction with a gentle heart, seeking to uplift and encourage those around him. Her gentle heart guided her in making decisions that prioritized the well-being of others over personal gain. To be as humble as a lamb. To possess humility, modesty, or a lack of pride or arrogance. To exhibit a lowly or unassuming demeanor, often downplaying one's achievements or abilities. Her humility and kindness made her as humble as a lamb, endearing her to those around her. Even with his talent and skill, he remained as humble as a lamb, always eager to learn from others. In the presence of greatness, he was as humble as a lamb, acknowledging his own limitations. She was as humble as a lamb, never boasting about her achievements or seeking recognition. Despite his success, he remained as humble as a lamb, crediting others for his accomplishments. To have a soft heart. To possess a compassionate, tender, or empathetic disposition. To be emotionally sensitive or easily moved by the suffering or needs of others. Her soft heart led her to pursue a career in humanitarian aid, dedicated to helping those in crisis. She couldn't bear to see anyone in pain. Her soft heart compelled her to offer assistance whenever she could. Despite his tough exterior, he had a soft heart, often expressing empathy towards those in distress. Even in the face of adversity, she maintained a soft heart, refusing to let cynicism or bitterness take hold. His experiences had left him with a soft heart, always attuned to the struggles of the less fortunate. To be as unassuming as a dove. To be modest, humble, or lacking in pretense or arrogance. To possess a gentle, peaceful, or non-threatening demeanor. In a world of ambition and competition, she was as unassuming as a dove, content to quietly pursue her passions. Even with his talent and achievements, he remained as unassuming as a dove, treating everyone with kindness and respect. His unassuming nature made him approachable and easy to talk to, like a gentle dove. Despite his wealth, he remained as unassuming as a dove, preferring simplicity over extravagance. She was as unassuming as a dove, never drawing attention to herself or seeking praise. To have a quiet spirit. To possess a calm, tranquil, or peaceful disposition. To exhibit an inner sense of serenity, unaffected by external disturbances or turmoil. Amidst the bustling city life, she carried herself with a quiet spirit, finding beauty in simplicity. Despite the chaos around her, she maintained a quiet spirit, finding solace in moments of reflection. His quiet spirit was a source of strength during difficult times, providing comfort and stability to his loved ones. His quiet spirit brought a sense of calm to those around him, even in the midst of uncertainty. In moments of crisis, her quiet spirit served as a beacon of hope, inspiring others to remain steadfast. To be as submissive as a lamb. To be obedient, compliant, or yielding without resistance. To exhibit a passive or docile demeanor, often deferring to authority or avoiding conflict. Her upbringing had taught her to be as submissive as a lamb, leading her to avoid confrontation at all costs. In the face of criticism, he remained as submissive as a lamb, unwilling to challenge or defend himself. She was as submissive as a lamb in her relationships, always prioritizing the needs of others over her own. Even when mistreated, he remained as submissive as a lamb, believing that meekness was a virtue. Despite his talents, he was as submissive as a lamb in the workplace, rarely asserting himself or speaking up. Mighty as a lion. To possess great strength, power, or authority, comparable to that of a lion. To exhibit courage, resilience, or ferocity in the face of challenges or adversaries. In times of crisis, she became mighty as a lion, facing challenges head-on with courage and strength. Despite his size, he was mighty as a lion, standing up to bullies and defending those in need. The team captain was mighty as a lion, leading his teammates with unwavering determination. He stood before the crowd, mighty as a lion, inspiring them with his powerful words. Her spirit was mighty as a lion, refusing to back down in the face of adversity. Mighty as an oak. To possess great resilience, endurance, or steadfastness, likened to that of an oak tree. To exhibit stability, reliability, or dependability in difficult situations. The community was mighty as an oak, coming together to support one another in times of need. Despite the storms of life, she remained mighty as an oak, rooted in her convictions and beliefs. The organization was mighty as an oak, withstanding challenges and emerging stronger than before. His friendship was mighty as an oak, providing unwavering support and loyalty through thick and thin. Her love for her family was mighty as an oak, providing a solid foundation for their growth and well-being. Mighty arm of the law. The authoritative or powerful enforcement of legal regulations and justice by law enforcement agencies. The legal system or institutions responsible for maintaining order, protecting citizens, and upholding the law. The mighty arm of the law ensured that justice was served, bringing criminals to account for their actions. Citizens rely on the mighty arm of the law to maintain order and protect their rights and freedoms. Law enforcement officers are the mighty arm of the law, tasked with enforcing regulations and maintaining public safety. The court system acts as the mighty arm of the law, ensuring that legal matters are resolved fairly and impartially. In times of crisis, people turn to the mighty arm of the law for protection and support. Mighty dollar. The pervasive influence or power of wealth, money, or financial resources. The symbolic representation of economic strength, prosperity, or success. Many people chase after the mighty dollar, believing that financial success is the key to happiness. The allure of the mighty dollar can lead individuals to compromise their values or integrity in pursuit of wealth. Some argue that the mighty dollar has corrupted the moral fabric of society, prioritizing greed over compassion. While the mighty dollar can provide material comforts, true fulfillment often comes from meaningful relationships and experiences. In today's society, the mighty dollar often dictates the course of political decisions and social dynamics. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.